This is Be the Solution podcast, and I'm your host, Maria Quattrone. And today I welcome Robin Martin from Premier Home Team. He runs his business out of Keller Williams, and he is a Place partner. And I'm excited because Robin and I met a few years ago. We hadn't had an opportunity since then, actually, to go deep into what's going on. But Robin, so welcome to the show as a first time guest. And if you know anything about me, you know that I have a quote for you, especially for you today.
Love it.
Energy and persistence conquer all things. Benjamin Franklin.
I like it. Yeah.
Energy and
Good
persistence
start.
conquer all things. I picked up for you this morning based on the text that I sent you and what you sent me back. And I thought, I think this is a good quote for Robin. Through sheer persistence and will of making something happen. So, Robin, I know, you are doing amazing things out there, mainly Delaware County. You service some Philadelphia County with your team. What do you have, 13, 15 agents?
Yep.
And we met a few years ago, and you were working on figuring it all out.
Just bumping my head a bunch. Just bumping my head a bunch. Yeah, for sure.
And now you had joined Place, so you're a partner with them, and you're rocking and rolling. But I want to go back to, you could have. I know the struggle that you went through because, remember, we do the same thing. And when you want to produce at a very high level and have people and you have systems and processes and a lot of transactions, it takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
And so usually what I found in talking to, I've interviewed over 350 people,
Wow.
Something with persistence, it's something that's embedded in you and came from somewhere long ago. What would you say that was for you?
It's probably my athletic background. I ran track as a kid. I ran track in college, and it's a grind. But if you work really, really hard, I actually coached track and field for almost a decade before I started real estate. And it's kind of fascinating because sometimes the most talented people, they're not as successful. And the ones that just work hard day in and day out, they can produce really high levels of success. So I just kind of learned through my athletic and coaching career that it's how to set a goal that's years away, how to work at it diligently every day, and how to kind of push through the feelings, right? The I don't want to do it today's, and this hurts today, and it's just a little bit of pain. And I really believe that if you keep pushing through, that you're going to get there. And I've just seen it happen in my life, and I've just seen it happen as a coach enough times that I can't deny that it's true. So when real estate started, it was really that same kind of mentality, and that's kind of what we did from the beginning.
It's a discipline. There's no, your feelings are your feelings. A lot of times it's just made up stuff that you make up anyway. But it's a discipline to do whatever is required on a daily basis, day in, day out. without, minimal complaints. Because the more energy you bring to it, the greater possibility of being successful with it if you leave it aside. So, in real estate, because that's what we do, but in real estate, many people decide that they don't want to do the work. And I always think about things like I could be digging a ditch. I could be so unfortunate and live in a third world country with no water and no infrastructure. I could be so unfortunate and be in a war zone. And so sometimes, I bring it to the team, I dumb it down to, really not even having basic needs, yet we can't make 20 more phone calls.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really just choosing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's we're sitting in a nice, comfy, warm or cool home, depending on the weather, or office, with all the things that we need, and it's a decision. I mean, you made
Yeah,
a
I
decision.
agree.
So you made a decision when you got into this business, because we met, and I remember you were adamant. You were adamant about figuring this out and doing it.
Yeah.
And it took how much time to do that?
So I've been an agent in July. It was 6 years. So been an agent 6 years, started this team. It'll be 5 years in October. So took 5 years, 5 good years. My first 6 months in the business, I had no idea what I was doing. So I don't even count that. But yeah, it took a good 5 years.
You've had tremendous success for somebody in the business for such a short time. What do you attribute it to?
Well, I would say that real estate, and thank God for this reality, but real estate is something that you can brute force your way to success. And when I first started, I just didn't want to wait my turn, right? It seemed like everybody who was successful, they've been doing it for 20 years. They built this book of business, and I just didn't have that kind of time. I got into this business late. And so I had to speed it up. And I started with expireds. It was like a miracle for me. Because you watch people be successful when you're a brand new agent. You watch people be successful, you watch people be unsuccessful, and you can't tell the difference between them. So it seems like luck. It seems like magic. Like Maria Quattrone, she just got lucky, right? That's what a new agent would tell themselves if they saw you. They don't know how much work, right? They just see you winning. And so I didn't really get it, and it seemed like magic, and I just was hoping that I would be one of the touched ones, And so I started calling expireds, and I was terrible at it. But I tracked my numbers early on. And so it was, at the beginning, I was 125 contacts to an appointment. That was 5% pickup rate, 6% pickup rate. I was calling some older lists. So 5 to 6% pickup rate and 125 contacts to an appointment. And I closed a little less than half of my appointments, right? So those are terrible numbers, by the way, just terrible. But it didn't matter because it was repeatable, right? Like it stopped being magic, like instantaneously for me. And so even though, you do that math, I don't know, I'd have to do it here on my calculator, but let's see, 20, we'll call it 20 times 125 times 2. So that's 5,000 dials to a listing, right? Like that's pretty extreme. But it didn't matter to me because I could do that. If I made 500 dials a day and I did that 5 days a week, that's a listing every 2 weeks. That's 26 listings in a year. That's a living, right?
That's
And
right.
and when that happened, like everything switched for me. And real estate's something that you can brute force your way through it. You can be terrible at open houses, just terrible. But if you host enough of them, if you host 10 of them a week, you're gonna get buyers. Like that's why what I love about real estate is that it's fair. Like you can work your way to success even when you don't have the talent yet. Even when you don't have the resources, the database, the pipeline, you can just work yourself to success. And that's just not true everywhere, right? And that's kind of how we started. We didn't know what we were doing. We were not great at what we did, but we were going to brute force our way to success. And that's kind of that was the platform at what we built.
Wow, those are some numbers. You know the numbers, though. It's now, what are the numbers, or you're not calling anymore?
So I don't call expireds anymore, but when I stopped, it was same pickup rate, and I was about 37 conversations to an appointment, and I closed about 80% of my appointments. So that's what it was when it was the end. So we could do that math. 20 times
37 conversations
times 0.8
to an appointment. So
740.
how many conversations did you have a day?
So that was so 700 dials, 5% pickup rate, probably 30, 35. So that's 925 dials to a listing. So I started at 5,000 and ended up at 925.
925 dials to a listing. Okay, well, it is what it is, right? Meaning, what else were you going to do?
That's a really good point, right?
Well,
we have new agents that come join us. I always, I think, like, 7 houses, open houses, that's a lot. Our standard is 3 on our team, but even 3 seems like a lot. I'm like, cool, well, what else are you doing? And so I agree with you.
Mean, if you went to Comcast and punched in or anywhere else, and you worked 8:30 to 5:30, you'd have to do work. So this is the work. If there's it in a team model like you and myself, the agent doesn't really have to do anything else but dial the phone.
And so if you have and cash their checks. Yeah.
If there's no appointments that day, then there's nothing else to do but make phone calls, right?
But that day in, day out discipline is hard, right? I have a lot of understanding of what they go through. And that's the coach in me that I really enjoy helping them work through that. It is not what we're taught. We're not taught entrepreneurial thinking, right? We're taught 9 to 5. I mean, I remember I used to work for US Air. It doesn't even exist anymore. Like, that's how old I am. And I would go to I remember I would go to the bathroom and I'd like just stay there an extra 5 minutes. And I would laugh because they just paid me $2 for nothing, like that's like instilled in us, this kind of like shift work mentality. And that's all most of the people around us that they know. So I have a lot of understanding for our agents as they navigate these waters. Like, most times you go to a job, you work twice as hard, you get a 5% raise. So why work twice as hard? And so all of this, I think, is really kind of ingrained in our minds. And so I love working with agents to help kind of free them and to think about the world in an entrepreneurial way, so that they too can understand and feel the benefits of being the master of your own destiny and the hero of your own story. And I think that's just not natural. Like, we're not bred to feel like ourselves as the hero of our story, to be victors, not victims. And so helping them work through that, it's my life's work. It's the thing that I love the most about having a team.
It's interesting. And it's interesting. We're in a sales job. So our job is to sell real estate to as many people as we want, which is the beauty of it. I think that, if you don't want to be in sales, then this probably isn't a good spot for people. I did a day in the life of a realtor last night, a webinar for people that are in the business. And, after 21 years of this, to still have the energy and enthusiasm. Yeah. And straight away tell them, like, I never went to a settlement that didn't start with a conversation. So conversing. So what do you think an agent needs to do, Robin, in today's marketplace?
To be successful?
Yes.
Activity.
What do you think that looks like?
It can be a lot of different things, right? Like, it's finding what fills your cup, like what you're good at and what gives you energy. But I think it could be door knocking, could be circle dialing, could be expireds, it could be FISBOs, it could be first time home buyer seminars, it could be open houses, it could be working your sphere super hard. It could be setting up tables at 25 festivals across the greater Philadelphia area over the summer. These are all things our agents have done this year. It's really farming. I mean, we could go on and on and on. But pick a lane and go, and do a ton of it, like a ton. And you're going to be bad at it when you start. Like, I used to live in Nicaragua. I arrived there able to say the word burrito and agua, right? Like, and I learned how to speak Spanish, but I learned it by being terrible at it. Like, I have a number of amazing, embarrassing speaking Spanish stories that I like to share with my team, because it's okay to suck. It's okay to not be good at something, but that is the path that everybody walks to get good at something. No one arrives good. So just do it, the sheer volume of that activity, and you'll get good while you're doing it. You don't have to practice and get ready to get ready. I mean, you should practice, but don't get ready to get ready. Just jump in, sheer volume of activity, and it's activity. That is the solution. Some people are going to be innately more talented at it when they start, and that's fine. And then doing it with intent, and then doing a little bit of self-analysis when you're done. Ooh, I said that didn't land right. Ooh, I did this and they didn't like it. Ooh, I didn't pick up on this cue. Maybe I should try something different next time. And just consistently get better, and go. That would be my advice.
The value of the compound effect, doing this work over and over again. And over time, it compounds.
Agreed.
Why did you get into real estate?
Well, it's like when you ask people like that are married, well, where do you meet? It's not always a great story, I was a college track and field coach for a long time. When that career ended, I had a friend who was a realtor. She sold us our first house, and she thought I'd be good at it. I thought maybe this might make sense, and so I tried it, and that's the story. It's not super compelling, but that's how I started. It was an invitation of a friend. Her name's Carrie Carr. You might know her. And Carrie was a good friend of mine. She was just starting in her real estate career, and she was having success, and she brought me along. That's really the whole story.
That's great. You always have to have a friend in real estate.
Yeah.
I had a similar story. My friend thought I would be great at it, and I investigated. So I was in advertising sales for 11 years. So I've been making calls for 32 years.
Yeah.
A long time.
But it compounded.
It
right?
compounds. Yeah. Yes. We teach, you can do open houses, you can do door knocking, whatever, but we just teach, call it database. 57,000 people in there.
Strong.
Tons of people to call the database. Make as many calls as possible. Have at least 20 conversations a day. Everything else takes care of itself.
20 conversations a day, you are going to sell houses. I don't care if you're where you're having. That's really, I agree with you.
You have 20 conversations a day, you'll make a good living, a decent living in real estate.
At least. Yeah, at least a decent living.
And this is if you don't even have all the skills yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have 19-year-olds right from high school selling real estate, doing deals. Just from calling the database.
Yep.
So, people don't, you're not too young, you're not too old, you can do this. Nobody's going to say you can't sell real estate because you're 19 or 80. There's a lady out there in the South, she's 100, she's selling real estate still.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
And that's what makes this industry so amazing, right? Is there's just not a lot of places anymore where that's true, but that's definitely true here.
And you could do as much as you want or as little as you want. Where else can you go and have this kind of opportunity? Mortgage, yes.
Sure.
Insurance, financial services. You need more experience for financial services, though. And you need to get your Series 7. A lot easier to get a real estate license. Even easier to get your MLO license and insurance license.
Yep.
But those careers are also viable for the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends in the mortgage industry making $500,000, $1 million a year from sheer work ethic.
Yeah.
And if you do enough of it, you figure out how to do it, right?
Yep. Exactly.
But it's about be the solution, Robin. You're the solution. You recently, not that a little while ago, you partnered with Place.
We did. Mm-hmm.
How has that impacted your business?
In a number of ways, but I think the most important is it's just who you surround yourself with. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. And place was that opportunity for us and our agents to be able to be in a room where we're consistently looking up and learning from people who are doing it at a higher level than us, right? We set these limitations for ourselves, and then we go to, like, we went to an event a couple of months ago, and it was a sales event. You had to do these. If you did this high number of activities, you qualified for this event. And there was
5,000 dials, right? 5,000 dials, 50 open houses.
Yep, you got it. 5,000 dials, 50 open houses, 50 ads to your database.
10 listings or something.
Yeah, five listings going live, and 10 buy side or listing side agency contracts. So you had to do 3 of them to qualify for the event. And one of the people that got up and spoke was a single mom with a 6-month-old who did all 5, who did 50 open houses in 10 weeks, who did 5,000 dials in 10 weeks, added 50 people to her database, had 12 or so listing and buy side contracts signed, and put five listings live. And it was this moment where you're like, my excuses are gone, right? My life is easier than her life. And if she could do it, I could do it. And I think there's this magic to being surrounded by ambitious, successful people that are crushing the real estate game. It robs you of your excuses. And I think we all need to be robbed of our excuses every once in a while. And so that's a big piece of that. We're running playbooks, the very best playbooks that real estate has to offer, proven by really, really established, powerful real estate teams. And just the highest levels of support and the highest levels of training, and you put all that together, it's kind of a magic box. So at one point in time, I decided that I was going to do anything I could do to support my agents at the highest level. That was going to be my calling card. It's just part of my DNA. I wanted to support my agents at the highest level. And so when this opportunity for Place came up, it put me in a spot. It's not cheap, but it put me into a spot where if I had said no to Place, I would have been going against my own principles, because this was the very best opportunity in the country for my agents. And I could not take advantage of it.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. What's on the horizon for you?
World domination, just regular. We're just growing. And I mean that in every sense of the word, right? We're growing as humans. There's a number of us doing the 75 hard challenge right now. So we're growing that. We're just becoming better people together, because that's really, real estate is just a linear progression that goes according to your growth as a human, right? So we're growing together. Our businesses are growing. We're expanding and adding new people. And I don't think that I don't really believe in a lot of limitations. So we're just looking to become better agents, better humans, and share that with more agents as we continue to grow. And as long as we keep to those principles, I can't wait to see what the future brings.
I love that. And it's, I would say, you want X, Y, Z. And I said, well, who do you need to become? Who do you need to become? And the number one thing daily you can do is your own personal development. Become radically self-aware and accountable. And I ask people this question. So I'm sitting at a stoplight. I'm in my car. I'm waiting for the light to turn green. The car comes up behind me and hits me. Whose fault is it? So,
Nobody's fault. Everybody's fault. Curious. Tell me.
well, it's my fault for being there. So I'm standing there. You and I are talking. We're having a conversation. We're in-depth conversation. We're standing about 2 feet apart from each other. I'm holding my cup of black coffee. I have weight on today. Somebody comes over, and as they're coming over to say hello and give you a hug, they trip, bang into me, and the coffee spills all over me. Whose fault is it?
I'm curious. I'm fascinated. Tell me more.
It's my fault. I'm standing there. I'm holding a cup of coffee. I chose to hold that cup of coffee. I chose to wear white. Coffee's all over me. My white clothes become stained coffee. That's radical accountability and awareness.
Yeah, that's great.
It's something that I teach. In fact, it's part of my platform, Be the Solution. I'm going to in the final stages of finalizing the book, Be the Solution. I'll tell you what the cover says. Yeah, sit. There we go. I was working on this yesterday between 10 things. What if the answer you're searching for is you? Be the Solution, a guide to living and leading with purpose.
I love it.
What if the answer you're searching for is you? Because, and this is, I'm included in this, okay? So I always say to people, are you where you want to be in your life right now? And they tell me yes or no. But let's say they say no. I said, well, there's only one person to blame for that. Pick up the mirror and look into it. Doesn't matter what happened to you as a kid, what happened to you with your husband, your wife, your kid. It doesn't matter. I wrote a post, Robin, the other day. And I made like a face in it, like kind of like, I wasn't smiling. I wasn't angry either. I was just like kind of in between, whatever that is. Anyway, I said, people need to get real. I said, you're not where you are. I said, for example, I'm not in Italy right now for 90 days. And that's because of the decisions I made or didn't make. Is why I'm not there. The decisions I decided to make or not make. I could have been there. I chose to be in real estate.
Yeah.
I chose these things. I chose. We choose. That's radical self-awareness.
I like that. Well, it makes it impossible for you to be a victim, right?
That's right. That's all what it's about.
Yeah.
And when things do happen, like things that aren't great, you sit back and you go, that didn't happen to me. It happened for me because it taught me something. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Real estate's just a vehicle. Not really about real estate. About life. Thank you for being the solution. You're doing a great job.
Thanks for having me. It was
Congratulations.
great.
My pleasure. Congratulations on all your success and your team. They got a great leader in you. They really do. You're such a caring and open and warm individual. So God bless and keep on being the solution.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure.